Before we get into it, just a little bit of housekeeping. It's very hot in the UK today, so because of that, if I look like I'm f***ing sweating, it's because I am f***ing sweating, because I'm really hot.
You sound like you're from London.
British law. It's basically like your nan's loft.
Where are you coming from?
Full of weird old shit no one's touched since 1972. Probably haunted and definitely housing a few things that should have been set on fire a few years ago. For every serious modern rule that's there to stop society falling apart, there's a dated one that sounds like it's fresh out of a fever dream. And what's even better, these laws give us all a brilliant window into what people used to genuinely worry about throughout history. Things such as walking your cow at the wrong time of day or holding salmon in your hands. Yes, both of those are real, and yes, I am going to tell you about both of them today. But before we dive into some oddly specific rules and Victorian level nonsense, let's talk about why these laws are still around to this day. In the UK, laws don't usually expire on their own unless they've got something called a sunset clause baked into them, and most of them don't. They'll just stay put until someone actively repels or replaces them. This means that there are some funky ass laws that us UK folk must still adhere to in the grand old year of 2025, not because anyone's defending them, but because no one can be asked to clear them out. It's basically legislative hoarding. So today we're having a rummage through the bottom drawer of the UK's legal system and unearthing the laws that, by all logic, should have been binned decades ago, but for whatever reason still exist. Now, just to be clear, this isn't a legal advice video. I'm not your f***ing solicitor. So if you do get arrested for suspicious fish handling or wearing a suit of armour in Westminster, please don't say, "Well, Brad said it was funny." So grab a dragon soup if you're old enough, settle in, and let's take a proper look at some of the most gloriously stupid laws that somehow still exist in the UK to this day. Let's kick things off with one of the most beautifully British contradictions of all time. It is technically illegal to be drunk in a pub. It's written into the Licensing Act of 1872 that you can get fined for being drunk in the very building designed to get you fucking drunk.
Say what?
Mate, drunk in a pub, that's not just normal, that's the fucking business model. That's like saying it's illegal to be wet in a swimming pool or on benefits if you shop at Heron Foods. There's nothing wrong with Heron Foods, by the way, don't worry, it's fine. It was meant to crack down on Larry behaviour, but the law itself just says drunk. So there's no actual specific drunk levels or warning systems in place, just broken pint glasses and handcuffs, which by that logic covers about 70% of Wetherspoons by 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. So how did we end up here? Blame the temperance movement. A law pushed by 19th century fun spongers who decided that alcohol was the devil's mouthwash. The rule pretty much is go to the pub but act like you're in a funeral parlour, a sober Victorian funeral parlour that happens to sell pork scratchings. And yes, this is still technically enforceable to this day, a £200 fine if they catch you.
What?
It gets funnier when you remember you can legally drink at 16 in this country if your mum's there and there's a sausage on the plate. So fish and chips with your nan and a pint is absolutely fine, but if you laugh too hard on your 5th star of prom with your mates, it's criminal behaviour. Evening, mate. Yeah, I'm just 3 pints deep. I'm feeling pretty good, to be fair. That last sip looks a little bit illegal. I'm going to have to cut you off before it turns into a problem. It's a perfect example of law written by people with good intentions but no idea how humans actually operate. You build a pub to sell booze and then penalise people for consuming it. So next time you're out, pint in hand... excuse me. So next time you're out, pint in hand, just remember, one more sip and you're a criminal. I am sweating.
God damn.
This one sounds less like a law and more like something someone mutters out when they're having a mental breakdown, in my opinion. But it is illegal to handle salmon in suspicious circumstances. So not steal, not smuggle, handle suspiciously. Which immediately raises questions in my mind like, what does that even look like? Are we talking shady back alley tuna trading? Someone flirting with a cockle on the back of a bus?
On the back of a bus!
The law itself comes from the
Sensational.
The law itself comes from the Salmon Act of 1986, which was meant to crack down on illegal poaching, black market fish trades, and unlicensed river deals. The law doesn't even define what suspicious means either, so what the fuck is it? Is it dodgy eye contact? Is it what scales after 8 o'clock? What? Tell me. The cherry on top is it's only salmon, like the other fish are just too innocent to ever commit a crime. Your Honour, the suspect was seen at 11:47 in a hoodie holding a salmon suspiciously.
How do you plead?
It was tuna actually, dickhead. So be warned, if someone asks where your salmon come from, don't say a friend, say Tesco, and say it with confidence. Let's talk about the crime wave that swept through 1839 London. Kite flying. According to the Metropolitan Police Act of 1839, it is technically illegal to fly a kite in a public place. She's going to get 5 to 10 years for this, you silly bitch. The law bans anything that might cause annoyance or danger to residents or passengers, but for some reason they singled out kites, which are well known for being right up there with little base paintballing and throwing fireworks. And look, back then maybe it made sense. You had narrow streets, fragile gas lamps, horses that could be startled by their own tails. But now, like in the good year of 2025, you're most likely to cause a serotonin boost and a public disturbance. And this law applies to everywhere, so parks, beaches, that massive field from out back of your house, that's owned by the council, all outlawed zones. It falls under what's called anti-nuisance law. Sure, kites can be annoying, but criminal, come on. What's the police report going to say? 1437, male, late 20s, suspect attempted aerial deployment of polyester kite, no permit, strong gusts, community left rattled. Charges, excessive wind enthusiasm with intent to uplift.
That's fucking illegal.
So yeah, if you're ever planning a day out thinking nice breeze, I might take the kite, maybe check if there's any Karens nearby who might snitch you in on council. Do you ever remember as a kid knocking on someone's door and like legging it like you're in a Bourne film, collapsing behind a bush and pissing yourself laughing? Turns out that's a crime.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
It's under the Metropolitan Act of 1839. That bit of innocent chaos is officially classed as willfully disturbing any inhabitant by pulling or ringing any doorbell or knocking at any door without lawful excuse. Is it funny? Yes. Should it be legally actionable? Also, we need to modernise this law for 2025. Like, what counts now? If you press a ring doorbell and then fuck off, is that the same thing? But when all is said and done, this law isn't the craziest thing in the world. I can understand the thinking behind it, I must say. It's not like there's some law saying that you can't walk a cow down the street in day. According to the Metropolitan Streets Act of 1867, it is illegal to drive cattle through the streets of London between 10 AM and 7 PM without written permission from the Commissioner of Police.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Back in the day, it made sense as Victorian London roads were tight with no proper layout. Horses would go mental. You chuck a herd of cows into the mix and suddenly it's like a farm-themed Fast and Furious reboot. Enforcement, rare, but not zero. There have been protests and parades, even a bloke who marched a cow through Westminster just to make a point. Technically it is illegal, but also it's pretty iconic. And you only need to get permission if you want to do it between those times as well. So 7:55, you better have clearance, but 8:05, you can moonwalk that motherfucker across town hall if you really want to. This one doesn't just sound medieval, it is medieval. A real law since 1313, it's illegal to enter Parliament wearing a full suit of armour. And whilst I doubt you'd get past a metal detector with a longsword these days, except me, the fact that this law still exists is random as f***. Back in the 14th century, Parliament wasn't quite the calm, shouty but safe space it is today. Factions were real, arguments got spicy, people genuinely showed up armed just in case debate turned into duel. So Edward II, clearly having one too many tense exchanges himself, passed a law banning armour inside Parliament to keep it civil. And fair play, because if your opposition's wearing plate mail, you're probably not going to have a productive session on tax reform, are you? Over 700 years later, and it's still in effect, still technically illegal to rock up to the Commons dressed like a knight. How likely are you to get done for it? Not very. You'd probably be pulled for the 5-foot halberd, like me, first. And the beauty of this one is it's such a British solution, once again. The message wasn't no violence, it was no violent vibes. Don't dress like you want beef, because that's what they were worried about. So yeah, if you were thinking of showing up to a debate dressing like you just defended a castle, think twice, because technically you're committing an offence older than the bubonic plague.
There were tears that ran down my face, but I did not cry.
People who commented on the last video, thank you very much. It was really nice to see that, that response on the first video. So yeah, thank you very much. I wanted to add my personal favourite law as like a little bonus for you, is eating food in the supermarket before you actually pay for it. Like, I've done this loads of times. I've had countless Cornish pasties walking around Morrison's, my mum, when she did the big weekly shop on a Sunday. I fucking love that shit, man. The Theft Act of 1968 states consuming goods before you've paid for them counts as stealing. And it doesn't matter if you're holding the debit card in your hand. It doesn't matter if you're literally queuing up. If it's in your mouth, it's illegal. Obviously, prosecutions are rare. You'd have to eat something and either forget to pay or act like you never planned to pay. So yeah, I guess I'll have to suppress my urges now after learning this. No more snacks mid-shop in the future.